Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Frieren, Season 1, Episode 26. Alright, last episode we had a lot of planning, and then we initiated the action, which ended up going somewhat quickly, but very beautiful animation, a lot of beautiful flashy spells going off, and it seems like the plan went flawlessly, and we saw the clone get blasted, but we never saw the aftermath of it. We saw some cool flashbacks with Ciri and Flamme, and the idea that in Flamme's will, she left the information regarding the fact that she was able to convince the Emperor to normalize magic and allow like anyone to learn it. So that's how Flamme brought magic to humanity, which was really cool to learn because they said that earlier in the show, but I was like, wait, so, like, did magic just not exist before Flamme found it, but then there's elves that are older that did it? And it's like, I was a little confused on how she brought it to humanity, but she brought it on, like, a widespread scale. So that was really good to learn. Yeah, I'm excited to watch this and see what we have next, or is the test over, or what's gonna happen now. So we're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Or me. Oh, that's right. She already said this line. Duh. I don't know if I talked about it, but I really liked how last episode we had that being like a human mage and then it flashed to Fern. I don't think I talked too much about that, of like Frieren starting to like see that prophecy from Ciri coming true, and looking at Fern being like, I think Fern might be one of those human mages that is capable of killing the Demon King if he was still around. I want one of those waters in my fridge behind me. It's fine. I have a little bit left in this flavored water. I'll grab a new one in between the videos. Because I have another show to record tonight. The Height of Magic. Ooh, does that mean there's more? Is it still standing? Or are we recapping? We might be recapping. Oh, the animation was so crazy. Planetary devastation. That's so cool. The hair flapping everywhere. Even just like the clothes moving. It's always been so good in this show. I don't know that I noticed the big rock golem last time. Maybe I did. There was a lot going on. Oh. Hmm. Wait, so is this more? Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Werbel's group should still be out there. Weren't they finishing up their clones? Unless they never beat them all. Oh. Nice. Just blast him. Don't talk too much shit. Good planning and strategy makes a big difference, though. And outnumbering as well. Oh, we're back again. Oh. Uh-oh. That's ominous. True, we haven't seen those two either. That's true. Do they? I mean, I guess. I don't know if I'd say peaceful. Maybe peaceful in terms of not having to fight other people, but... That's super not good. Is that death? Oh my god, is that death? That's like his heart. Hers were a little lower. Damn. That sucks, man. They're giving up. Or at least he is. Yeah, he saw it. That's wild. Shh. Can't you see him sneaking here? Were they part of the planning? I don't know that they were, actually. Did they just show up? Yeah, they weren't part of the plan. Oh, I didn't ask for an explanation. Just answer my question. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. Kind of like the counters and stuff. Oh shit. Oh, that's her doing it. But that's not saying she can't. Oh wow, okay. That's pretty wild. They talk a lot about this magic of visualizing and stuff. Ah, yeah. Hmm. Oh, she can tell. Wow. Really? Huh. Oh, she got kicked out for fighting one, didn't she, or something like that? Was that the show? Hmm. Damn. Hmm. Damn. Cut too deep indeed. Holy shit. Jesus, that is scary. Hmm. Oh, the reflection of her when she was young. That's interesting. Creepy. Creepy lady. Hmm. You have to perfectly visualize it. Hmm. That's pretty crazy. Seems like a contradiction in a way, but yeah. her mind functions in a way that I can't really understand. Squeaky chair time. Okay, no more adjusting. Too much squeak. I could cut it for you. Ah. Damn, just like that, not even a fight. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, here's these guys. Oh, they met up. Oh. Yeah. Like rock, paper, scissors. You can perfectly counter one, but then one can perfectly counter you. It makes sense. It's kind of like a video game in that regard. Oh, so she found Denkins. Fern's gotta be tough, I feel like. Simply stopping someone. Oh. She's not resistant to it. Oh. Well, there they are. Is back in action. That's right, they were destroyed, too. Uh-oh. But how? Yeah, that's really unfortunate then. Oh, that's what Frieren said. Wow, so does that mean senses may come back too? Which is super unfortunate. And the three that Werble defeated, like... Jeez. Or Werble's team, I should say. The other ones he credit to, they did shit. Oh, that's Fern. That's her staff, right? A cool overhead shot. That wasn't a golem running out, was it? I may have to go back to that. I just realized it almost sounded like... I couldn't tell what I was really looking at, but... Oh, really? Okay. Oh, wow. She's planning on taking some damage on this one. It won't be fatal, doesn't mean she won't take any damage. The battle that's ensuing in here is crazy. Ah. So the clone might do that too? I don't even know what's happening. It's crazy visuals, man. Oh my god! So that's the blocking, create a bigger opening. Jeez. Oh, an arm went away? Jesus. Unload. That was just a Gatling gun. Uh-oh. Oh, shit! She's not even holding her staff, and her staff broke! Oh, shit, the first-person perspective. What? Not recognizing this as a spell? Whoa. The height of magic. Oh, shit. So Frieren had to come in for the final blow. Wait, so what were the conditions for opening the door and getting to Spiegel? Was it just beating Frieren, or was it defeating all of the clones to be able to get in? But if they're coming back, then that's really OP. I'm sorry, I missed that line. Something in 80 years, I'll go back to that too. That was my bad, I shouldn't have been talking. Stupid me. Stupid Morthadon. Oh. Alright, that's it. Boom. Carry me. Look at that treasure. Since it's like, I will be collecting this now. Nope. But there's a third test, right? Of course. Dark, scary. He's here in the background. Oh. Oh, okay. Nice. Well, I missed it again, damn it. Someone got carried out right at the end there. That was the one that I think we saw, like, getting run by, right? God damn it. And then they said, who are you? Is it someone we haven't seen? What? I'll go back, don't worry. That's my bad. I was kind of like looking down, reading the subtitles, and scratching my neck, like reading the subtitles in my peripheral. But because of that, I couldn't really see what was going down on the screen. I didn't expect that to happen. Of course, like the The two times I don't super pay attention are like the two same, like trying to show me the same thing that I missed. Oh man. Good old me. That was a good episode though. I mean, I guess they passed the second test, right? So I wonder, did they get a cut of that treasure? That's a lot of money there, isn't it? How does that work? They all put in the work to get down there, so I feel like they should. That is it, guys, for episode 26. Okay. So right at the end here. Oh, this thing can heal. Wow. Yeah, this rando gets carried out. We didn't get a glimpse of his face there either. And then... where was that? Was that after? Actually, I think it was right before this big red attack, wasn't it? Yeah, a golem ran by with a random person with 3 things chasing him. So we didn't get to see who that was. Huh. Interesting. Was there someone in the beginning that went in that we just didn't recognize? Or was there someone exploring this dungeon when this test started and no one knew it? Could that be a thing? I don't know. At the very end, we have the healing. So the only shot of him we get is when they're carrying him by right here. That's not any... I don't think that's anyone we know. It's not like Sign or anything like that being weird and trying to like find Frieren or something. Interesting. And like even the character said, "Who are you?" The only thing I can think of is if someone not... But then if he wasn't part of the test, how would he have a golem thing? Interesting. Was there someone that's been a part of this test that like can go invisible or something, and he's been keeping himself hidden, kind of like how Land always uses his clone and then he himself is off hiding somewhere? In a similar way to that, was this guy just invisible the whole time, but Sense knew about it and just like gave him his jar off to the side and just no one really noticed? I don't know. Interesting. Or is there a way to get these like escape golems yourself and he just had one on him? Or did there were a couple people that died, right? Could he have gotten a golem off them? I don't know. I guess I'm sure that's something next episode we'll find out, right? They're not just gonna leave it at like, "Who are you?" you know, and just never get any more info. So interesting. But yeah, that's pretty crazy that Frieren is strong enough that with both arms blasted off like that, so like that's a fatal wound, and then she just has like a very angry look at Fern, and then just has like this magic circle around her and just blasts Fern away to the point where Fern said that she didn't even sense like a spell or anything. Like, is it so advanced magic that Fern can't even like decipher what it was? And she didn't like... everyone seems to have a staff of some sort that seems to be like a conduit of how they use their mana, but she had no arms, so she did that with just looking without a staff, which is also pretty crazy. I kind of want to learn more about what that was right there. But that's pretty crazy. Right, she said, yeah, I'm not recognizing this as a spell. This is the height of magic. It's been about 80 years since I was last forced to use that. Damn, so Frieren knows what the clone Frieren was about to do, which I mean makes sense. I was kind of wondering if, because she was like, I've never seen you do anything like this before. It's because it's been 80 years since she's had to, since she was last forced to. So it's like Frieren has some like crazy last ditch effort magic that is just like on an insane level that we've never seen. That's wild. Man, I really hope this show gets a season 2, and I don't need it to be like epic shonen fights all the time, you know? But the idea that this height of magic that that Fern mentioned, and just like hinting at little stuff like that, I doubt we're gonna get into it this season. But if we do get another season, like, it would be cool to see a formidable enemy that pushes Frieren to some of these upward limits. Like, does she have any other spells, ones that she hasn't had to use in 500 years, you know? Like, something like that, but it's been about 80 years since I was last forced to use that. Is that potentially around the time that the Demon King died? It's been 28, or like 29 or 30 years at this point since Himmel's death, right? Something along those lines. And then there was I think Himmel died right after they did like the meteor storm, right? Which they said they were going to meet up 50 years after their adventure. So yeah, it seems like the last time she was forced to use that was potentially on the Demon King. I also wouldn't mind a flashback to them fighting the Demon King and her being forced to use that again. And that, like, look on her face when she did it was so badass. Usually she's, like, not lacking emotion, but usually she's just very, like, deadpan face while she's fighting. And then other times she's sometimes, like, smiling a little bit. But we've never seen, like, that. That was, like, an evil glare. That was, like, a you fucked me up and now I'm gonna fuck you up kind of face. That's wild. Oh, man. Yeah, that was a great episode. Visual spectacle of Frieren and Fern, you know, going at it with clone Frieren. But I didn't expect it either, because I thought the whole plan was to have her, like, bait that opening and blast her, and I thought that blast that we saw at the end of the last episode was just it, and I thought we were going to move on at the start of this episode, but nope, it was not. There was a lot more that needed to be done, so yeah, interesting. But I'm kind of glad, because it did feel, I even said it felt kind of quick, so we got, like, you know, it cut back and forth and everything between conversations and all that, but I really like the way that this episode portrayed that fight and the others. And then Ubel coming in clutch with being able to take on Sense's clone. That's pretty wild. Like, so she has a hard time cutting defense magic because it's magic that was there to be defense, right? But even though Sense's hair had, like, these layers of defense on it that were fairly equivalent to the defense spells they use, she was able to cut it. And I even felt like she, like, when they were explaining how the spell worked and everything, like how when Denkin was like, hey, there's, like, a bunch of layers of protection on that hair, it almost felt like Ubel brushed it off and almost ignored it because she doesn't want to skew her imagination, right? And they even said this episode that she thinks differently than most people do, which makes it hard to really think about the way that she thinks, because I'm the kind of person where I'd overthink it. I'd be like, oh, they have magical defense layers? Oh, I'm probably not going to be able to cut that then. Like, that's right where my mind would go. But her mind works a little differently, as they said here, where she can just be like, it's hair, cut it. And that instinct of being like, yeah, it's only natural you can cut hair. And then she uses her magic based off that instinct rather than her own, like, logically thinking brain. And that's pretty crazy. It's also interesting because she's the same character that is able to, like, the more she learns about a person, she is then able to copy their magic. So it's interesting that how much of Ubel's magic is based off that visualization. Like, it seems like a lot of people's magic is based off that, but we haven't really experienced too much of that with Frieren and Fern. Like, they're just using these basic spells. I don't know how much visualization really needs to take part, but I I like that it's considered like a rock, paper, scissors kind of thing, because I mentioned it being like video games, and what I mean by that is I played a lot of MMORPGs in the past, and a lot of those are, on a mass PvP scale, a lot of it, or I'm sorry, on like a lot of them are built for mass PvP scale, right? But when you're on like a smaller PvP scale, like a 1v1, there's sometimes things that will completely destroy you. There's a certain class that will completely destroy your class, but then your class will destroy another class. But then when it all comes together in like a mass PvP scale, it's not that big of a deal. So it reminded me a lot about that, and I appreciate that, because it makes sense that even if you're a very powerful mage, you can't account for every other spell in the world that other people can use and have mastered to various different degrees and everything. So, but that scene of Berg, I think his name was, I didn't write it down. Berg with his like defense up, but since she didn't fully understand the defense, she just saw a man there, and he just a man with a cloak on, right? And so she's like, yeah, it's very clear that I'd be able to cut him with my magic. He doesn't have any defenses up. And, like, I guess that imagination was enough, and she cut too deep, uh, and that was the second class exam, right? I think that's what Sense said. So I was gonna say it's too bad if she would have not. I mean, maybe it's good on this part, but I don't know why I said it's too bad. I guess it's because she kind of gives me like bad guy vibes, and she just like ruthlessly kills people. But she doesn't go out of her way to kill people, but she'll kill people if she has to, right? Like the bandits that jumped her, instead of scaring them off and being like, "Hey, I'm more powerful than you," she just killed them all, right? So that's kind of what I meant. But that made me have like bad vibes about Ubel, and kind of be like, even though she hasn't done anything to like spite our characters or anything too much, other than fighting them in the test, but that's part of the test. I I still said that. I still have that bias towards being like, ooh, she might be a bad person, Uh, but yeah, like where was I going with that whole point? It was in regards to if that was the first class test she took back then. If she would have passed it, she wouldn't have been here this time, which I guess I was gonna say would have been a good thing, since I was thinking of her as a bad guy. But if she wasn't here, I don't know that anyone else here could have gone up against Sense's clone, except for maybe Frieren and maybe Fern. I feel like even Denkin seemed like he wasn't very confident. I don't know, like it's hard to judge the power scales. I don't know if Denkin is stronger than Fern, so I don't know like if Fern could have taken him, but or taken her. But yeah, very interesting episode though. I very much enjoyed it. That man, I can't get over the visual of that man just being cut in half like that. He was so sure in his defenses, and like they set up the rule of like you'll be disqualified if you kill someone, just to make sure that if there is someone extremely powerful here, they won't just kill this poor man. And then he died anyway. It's pretty wild. And I think they were saying like no one else was able to move him, I think, during that test, up until what Ubel did. So that's pretty damn wild. Huh. Alright. Do I have more? It's too bad that Lawine and whatever the other dude's name is that I never remember. I apologize for that. Too bad that they didn't make it. Which, the fact that it was just Lawine and that means that What's-Her-Face should still be in it, right? Kane? So that's interesting. But the second test is complete, and she said you're all, like, suited to be first class, but there's still one more test, right? And we only have a couple more episodes, so I'm assuming this last test is going to be on the faster side? Because I feel like they must get their second class license, or their first class license, I mean, sorry, I had second class on the brain from earlier. They gotta be getting their first class license before this season ends, I would imagine. I would hope so. So, I guess we got a couple episodes left to see what the final test is. So, yeah. Damn. Alright. Pretty good that, they said her name, but I didn't write it down, and now I think it started with an M. Method. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but she was able, like, to sense. I do like that they're able to utilize so many other people's skills, like, as strong as Dinkin is, it seems like Method's, like, detecting is better because she's the one that found the location of all the enemies and stuff like that. She's also the one that went after Fern's, who's, like, the best at concealing her mana and everything. So I really like, it goes back to that rock, paper, scissors sort of thing, but in a different way, where it's like, when you're coordinating as a group, everyone's skilled at something different, so they can divvy up the roles and all that. I really like that. Once again, it feels like an MMORPG where you're, fighting a raid boss and you have to, like, split your group up in a certain way and give, like, different people, like, give the ranged people a task because they can shoot things from range, or someone that needs to move a lot while also being at range, give it to the classes that have a lot of instant casts and can fight while running, versus the people that are more stationary, can just stay on the boss and do their thing. Like, little stuff like that is what makes video games so fun to play as a group and coordinate and everything. So I like seeing it in a show like this. It's really neat, and especially because it's like, it feels natural. It's not like this is an isekai where we have a character transported here from another world where they're like, oh yes, I knew this from when I played, like, Nationcraft. Just like, because they can't say World of Warcraft, and stuff like that, and just have him be like, yes, when I did this, it's just like when we fight a raid boss, because then it feels like it's being, like, inserted into the story from this character, but this is just naturally just characters have strengths, so let's utilize them. So, very neat. I very much enjoyed it. Very good episode. That's it for me. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see 2 more. You guys can be finishing up this show right now, and I will be replacing this with something new, obviously, when I finish. This was a Patreon... Oh, no. I lied. I'm sorry. You can see this on Patreon, but it's through the Patreon show tier, not the early access tier. This was a Patreon show at first. And if you're watching this on YouTube, that means I have already started something else. I'm probably 20-something episodes, if there's even that many episodes of it, on my Patreon. So check that out. So all kinds of goodies on there. Links in the description. Should be popping up on the screen. Thank you guys so much. I lost my freaking mind trying to say that for some reason. Sorry for the butchered little end card shenanigans. Bye!